We're now with Jamie Noodles McLennan. And Jamie, the Leafs, they aren't healthy right now. They don't score enough, and they get scored on too much. Do you think I'm missing anything? Let's get you to give us a little more of a specific breakdown with the Leafs' problems, one step at a time. And let's start in goal.
Well, I think in goal, it's quite simple. With Joseph Woll not being available to the team for basically since the start of the season, you've had Anthony Stolarz, who had a fantastic season last year, but only played in 34 games in the regular season. So you've asked a lot of Anthony Stolarz to be your number one guy to play night in, night out. He's not used to that. He hasn't done that at the National Hockey League level and especially probably in his career in quite some time. So it's been a challenge for him, and he hasn't been to the level consistency from that we saw last year. So there's a step away from Anthony Stolarz's play, and he doesn't have that healthy competition in that tandem situation where Joseph Woll is pushing him for the net. So that's the biggest challenge. Now, Caden Primo was brought in to give Stolarz a night off on back-to-back situations, but he's not Joseph Woll. Caden Primo is a step below that. So when they're healthy and Joseph Woll is available, you've got a fantastic tandem, but you haven't had that since the start of the season. So it's a big challenge right now in net for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay, let's focus on defense next. And there's also no Chris Tanev right now, and that seems to have caused a big problem on the blue line for the Leafs.
Absolutely. He's the stabilizing force. What he does is help settle the rest of the group down. When you look at it, offensively, Morgan Rielly's had a really nice start to the season. He's one of the only puck transporters from the back end. And with Chris Tanev out, you've asked Philip Meyer to step in, and it's almost like that whole group is disjointed. They're not firing on all cylinders. And what Chris Tanev is able to do, especially on the penalty kill and 5-on-5, he's able to shut down the cycle in their own zone and help them exit the zone. So when you don't have a healthy Chris Tanev and he isn't available to you, all of a sudden that D looks a little bit slower, a little bit older, and Chris Tanev is a guy that really helps them run. So getting him back will really help them exit the zone and defensively.
Okay, so missing Chris Tanev, missing Joseph Woll, and then up front, Jamie, life without Mitch Marner hasn't been pretty either. What is the team's biggest issue on offense right now?
Well, it's the puck transporter. Mitch Marner was a guy who exited the zone and entered the zone as good as anybody in the National Hockey League. And with the injury to William Nylander, or him not being at 100% and not available to you, all of a sudden that takes away from the depth of your forwards. So Austin Matthews, he has to generate offense in a lot different ways. He's not a guy who skates the puck from his own zone into the offensive zone. He's better served at a give-and-go situation with his line mates. So, Matthew Knies is a fast player. He can transport the puck, but he's not as creative as Mitch Marner. So, yes, I know that's a swear word. We're not allowed to say it anymore, but the team is different without Mitch Marner. That's fine. There's a transition. But without William Nylander, or a healthy William Nylander, really that team is crippled up front in a lot of different ways. And then you look at the depth of the group, they haven't been able to be consistent enough or settled in enough to really help bridge that gap between the top and the bottom of the top 12 forwards. So it's a work in progress. If you get Nylander back, he is a puck transporter, and that's going to help Austin Matthews. But, you couple that with the defensive woes and the goaltending woes, and we see what it looks right now. That's a 500 team with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, top to bottom, it is a tough sledding right now. And maybe the worst part about the Leafs' early season struggles is that they've wasted the easy part of their schedule, because only 2 of their first 11 games have been against playoff teams from last year.